Hello friends, welcome to Java learning series, and now we are starting a new series to learn Java logging and Java IO framework. First let's go with logging framework, and in this video we will learn about logger, logging level and handlers. In Java, logging API helps in writing application logs in various targets. So various target here, we can consider it as a console or even a network console, flat file, XML file, etc. So logging API, log message, and that will get directed to a different target. In production, application debugging is not possible. So if it is in-house, you can perform application debugging, but in production, it will not be possible. So logging comes in handy to diagnose the problem. So what happens in production, people will turn on the logging, and logging will get produced on some location. Then that logging, the log file, whether it is a flat file or XML file, whatever is the medium, that will get transferred to the application developer, and they can diagnose the output, and at least they can come to know what happened on the production when the bug happened. So in Java, this is the package Java util and logging. So inside this logging package, we can get multiple classes that supports logging API. Let's say there is a application which produces a log message. So through logger, the log message will be sent to handler. Handler we will learn later. For now, you can say there's a component called handler. So at this stage, if you see, okay, we will come to this part later. From handler, the message will get directed to formatter, and from handler as well as formatter together, they decide the output medium. So actually this handler decides where is the output. Formatter will perform the formatting of the log message. For example, this is just an example. We can consider console window as a target output. So you can see how the message is traveling. The application that will produce the log message, and the log message will be sent through the logger through logging API. From there, the message reaches the handler. Handler will decide the target location, whether it needs to deliver that message to a console window or a network output window or a flat file or an XML file. Likewise, there will be multiple handler, and handler will decide the target location. And there is a component called formatter. Formatter will tell in what format log message can be written. So let's say this is the message and there are other information, or it will be a flat single line kind of formatting or multiple line of formatting. So these stuffs are decided by the formatter, and handler and formatter together, they directs the output to a target location. So the target location, as already told, can be a console window, or it can be a flat file or some other medium, network location or socket, whatever it is. So from logger, the message is reaching the handler, right? Here we can apply a filter, and before it reaches the console, there also we can apply a filter. So we can say this is a level 1 filter and level 2 filter. Here it will say what kind of log message can reach to a handler, and once it reaches the handler, you can perform further filtering, and actually it's even before the formatter. What kind of message can reach the console or the target location, that also can be done using the second level filter. So log messages are categorized in logging API. There are a variety of category. Log level will tell the logging API what message type can be filtered to the target. So that's the use of message type. So first of all, there is a log message. Say for example, user logged into the system. That's a message, and you can decide the message type, whether it is warning or information. Definitely, user logged into the system is not a warning, but if there is a security violation and user provided a wrong password 3 times, then the message login attempt failed, that can go as a warning or security kind of message type. So when user successfully logged into the system, that can go as a info message. So here just giving the idea of what the message type is. Likewise, an application can have variety of message types. So logging API supports these kinds of message type. Severe, if the application is in a fatal state, the severe will come into picture. The can be treated as a error, then warning, something may go wrong. So that kind of a message, it's warning. This is a info related message category, kind of saying user logged into the system, or a new product is added to the inventory, like that kind of info. Config, if application setting is changed, you can use this message type, and then these are all for debugging purpose. Fine, finer, and finest. So you can decide how deep you can go into the debugging message. An application, let's say this is the application, and it can write n number of messages. Let's say an application, a big large scale application, can write 1 million messages. In that 60 to 70% will go for the debugging status, and some remaining 20% will go into warning, info and category, or info and category, and 15% may go into warning, and only 5% will go into severe message category, or severe error, fatal error category. Usually the exception handler, and based on the error severity, you may mark that as a severe or warning type of a message. And if you see, these message categories are useful when the production system is logging the message to a, say for example, flat file. By default, user will keep the log level as a config or info. Once they do it that way, then all the messages prior to that will get logged. That means we may be saving the file size, logging file size. So in a specific or rare situation, user will set it to the debug or find finest level to capture more information. Logging level can be set using the set level method. So first you have to create a logger object, then using the set level method you can set the logging level. Logging level can also be configured through configuration file. So here we are talking about the message category, right? And here in this picture you can see the logger level using the set level. Let's say the logging level is set as info. So if logging level is set as info, Java logging system will log all the message type, severe, warning and info. And when logging level is set as finer, it won't log finest. Like here in the previous example, if you see, when log level is at info, it won't log config, fine, finer and finest. Similarly, when logger level is set at finer, then the low level categories are logged. I have to place a tick mark here. So all this message will get logged, and only message that won't get logged is finest. Here log level is at finer. So that's what here saying logging allowed. That means here we set logging level as info. So this kind of logging will reach to the output. Similarly here we are setting the logging level as finer. So only the finest message will get skipped. All other message goes to the output medium. So next we talk about log handler, and Java logging API supports variety of handlers to store the log messages. So log message is the data part here, and handler tells in what medium we want to save the log messages. Below are some of the example of handlers so that you will clearly understand what is the role of handler. Console handler delivers logs to console output window. That's the default. File handler delivers message to a file. Socket handler delivers message to a network port. That means, let's say this is the application delivering the message, and let's say these are all the handlers, and let's assume that the middle one is the network handler, and it delivers to a dedicated system with a dedicated hard disk. So through network port, let's say it is listening on 901.1901. On that port it is delivering the message, and the system on receiving the log message, it can know where to store it in a separate disk. So when application delivers a huge number of logs, and if within a day the disk get full, then the log message will get directed to a dedicated server or dedicated system through network, and that system manages all the log entries. So the most common used log handlers are file handler and console handler. Console handler may be useful for in-house development. File handler, it will be used on the production system. Next comes formatter. So previously we saw handler. Handler tells what is the target where the log message reaches. Application will produce the log message. Through logger it sends the log message, and after passing through the filtering medium it will reach the handler, and handler knows where to direct that message. And before directing the message to the target medium, it makes use of formatter. Formatter specify a logging message format. Let's say a message through logging API, the application is writing this log message. What formatter will do? Formatter will do other special kind of thing, like deciding where to place the date and time, and other information like what is the class file, all those stuff. So This kind of formatting informations are done through the formatters. For example, simple formatter presents a logging message in plain format because it is a simple formatter and it knows how to align the standard text and how to represent that in a flat file. So XML formatter also can use the flat file, but here the formatting will be on the XML tags. Right, that's the purpose of the XML formatter. XML formatter provides same collection of messages in XML format. So in an application you can place multiple handlers, but a handler can have only one formatter. So if we have 4 handler, then we may be having 4 formatter. Now let's explore how to display the log message and how to apply logging filter. So that's what we are going to do in this example. We will see how to write a log message and how to apply log filter. Previously we saw the message types, right? Logging filters work on this message type and apply what message type can reach to the next level. Next level in the sense what message can reach the handler, and from handler we can even set one more filter and that decide which message will reach the target medium. So let's look at the example. So this is the way we can get a logger. If you see, here is the logger object. We already specified the package from util logging. So we get logger.getLogger. So this is a utility function because we are using the class name getLogger. Then you can provide a name for your logger. So here we are giving a log tester and we receive the logger object here. Next, in the constructor, if you see, we are setting the log level. Here we are setting log level as warning. So that means since we are setting the log level as warning, this will include severe message as well as warning message both. But it will not include info and other debugging messages like fine, finer, finest. Those messages won't reach. So next we have a method sev severity message logger.severe severe error. So that's what this message is doing. And if you see here, we are making call to logger.severe. Severe is the method. That means it will log a severe error message. Likewise, we have other methods. Method 1, here from logger, we are calling the function warning. So this is to log warning message. Next, we are logging info message also. Since the logger level here is warning, let's say here we are logging 3 kind of messages from our application. Let's say the severe message is A, this one is B, and third one is C. From application, these are all the log message we are sending through logger. But at logger level itself, we are stating the logging level is warning. That means we set our logger to the warning log level or warning message level. Since we set the level as warning, severe will pass through the filter, and warning also will pass through the filter. Info message will get skipped. So that means what we will get out is A and B message that goes to the formatter. Here formatter as well as handler. Since here we doesn't specify any handler, the handler will be the console handler and formatter will be the simple formatter. Alright, it's demo time. Now let's go to the demo. This time, instead of using the Eclipse, we will be using the NetBeans IDE. So you can install NetBeans IDE, then follow the example. So here is the NetBeans IDE. We will create a new project, and here we are choosing Java application. Click next. So this is the path I am choosing, and project name, here we are choosing it as Java IO as well as logging. So let's keep logging now. For simplicity, we will just provide Java IO, and that's all here. Create main class. Okay, we will be having main class also in our project. Let's click finish. We will use this same project in this series so that we can create multiple classes, and inside each class we will be having main just for experimenting purpose. So we don't need to create new project every time. We will make use of this same same project. Okay, this is our package name. We will rename this package refactor, rename tube coding example Java advanced, apply rename on commands as well. Then I'm clicking here refactor. So now the class Java IO is in Java ADV. Since we are going to use the same project, here I am changing the class name as ADV001 logging. The moment I change the class name, NetBeans is providing the option to change the file name. Why? Because class name and the file name should match. So here I'm clicking this and it will change the file name, and inside the package you can see ADV001 logging.java. So at class level, first we will get the logging component, add import for java.util.logging.logger. So this was already explained in the slide. So we don't have a constructor here, and we will create a constructor. Here we are choosing the insert code option, then we are clicking on constructor. So we have the constructor now. In the constructor we set log level as warning, and log level is coming from java.util.logging.level. So just double click it to work. so that you are seeing the full screen window now. Next, we add our sample methods. Method severe, using logger.severe we are logging a message, then here we are logging a warning message, and here we are logging the info message. So we kept all these inside a separate method. Then inside void main, we are creating our class instance, and then we are making call to this method. Now let's build this once. So here you are seeing build successful. Now we will run this. So you can see we are making call to method severe, one, and info, and in the console window we are seeing only two messages. One is severe error, severe. So this is the message we are writing here, severe error. The type is a severe. Why? Because the method name what we used is severe. That's why this is logged as a severe message. And here the log message is warning message, and the method is warning. So the warning message is tagged as warning. And here if you see we are writing the info message also, but the info message is not reaching the console window. This is because the message is filtered out at the logger level. So since we set the logging level as warning, what comes out of the logger is severe as well as warning, and info stays below the warning. So it's somewhat a deeper level logging message as per the hierarchy. In the hierarchy we already saw in the slide, severe is staying on the top, after that warning, then info, debug, finer, likewise it will go. Alright, now for a testing purpose what we will do, here we are setting the level as warning, right? Here let's remove this, and we will set logging level as all. We will build this once, and then we will run it. Now you can see all three messages are logged, and we're seeing all these messages in the console window as a red colored text. Why? Because the default console handler uses the error stream to log the messages, but when we write it in a flat file you won't see a colored text. Alright, now you learned the basics of logging, but here we doesn't use handler as well as formatter. In the next video we will see how to use the handler as well as formatter, and we will see how to write the log message to text file. So just now you saw the demo, and thank you for watching. Bye.